Time nearly stopped as Cody turned to see the cannonball coming his way. The massive iron sphere was 3 times the size of Chef's Swedish meatballs, and the geek could only freeze with shock as the projectile nears closer and closer. "Cody, move!" Trent yelled as he ran to his friend. Still frozen with fear, Cody only stared at the oncoming cannonball. Finally, Trent tackles him as a means to keep him from getting hit. Unfortunately, it became his undoing, as the cannonball struck the musician instead. "Gah!" Trent yells out in pain, as his ribs are viciously struck. Trent, Cody, who finally snapped out of his trance, runs to his friend's aid. "Trent, are you okay?" "Oh, been better, kiddo," the musician joked while being in excruciating pain. The rest of the team runs to their side. "Trent, please tell me you're going to be alright," Katie begged. Bridget looked at the camera with mixture of shock and confusion. "How did this happen? It couldn't have been." "Chris, we need medical attention over here," Heather yelled at their host. "I was just trying to remind our watchers what happened during the first half of the episode." "Sheesh, how about a little sympathy for your host?" "Yikes, what happened here?" Chris finally asked the killer captains about their fallen comrade. Cut to the screaming admirals. "What happened? Did a cannon fire?" Leshona asked as the rest of the admirals were attracted to the sound and ran to their pirate ship where Jeff happened to be. "Wasn't ours," the disgruntled party animal shrugged with deceit. "On any other day, I would believe him, but he totally snapped this time around," Gwen stated. "I'm suspicious, but I need to watch myself. If I alienate Jeff, I face 3 votes against me," Leshona said. Cut to the killer captains. "Sorry guys, but Trent probably needs some actual medical assistance," Chris regrettably informs. "Chef can only get so creative with his rusted butcher knife." "Wait, do you mean?" Heather worriedly begins to ask. "Afraid so." "Thigh injury, Trent is out of the game," the host announces. "Sorry guys, I guess I blew it this time around," the musician weakly joked. He then turned to Katie, who was weeping for him. "Katie, what's wrong? It's not fair, you are gone, just like that." The sweet girl sadly argued against fate. "It'll be alright, Katie, I'll be fine. But it's too early to lose you. You and I never had our moment like all the other couples had." "Well, there's no time like the present." The musician struggles to stand while hunched over his massive rib injury. He manages to walk up to his girl and embrace her. "You're a strong girl, you can make it," Trent tells her right before kissing her on her glossy lips. "Trent, this is all my fault. I am so sorry." Cody confessed and apologized, especially as captain. "I'm the one that blew it." Chef comes in with a stretcher to help Trent get off the island. "Don't worry, Cody, I probably handled it better than you would have, kiddo." Trent offered to part ways with the geek by leaving with a handshake. Cody obliged, and as they shook hands, the musician notices something and grins. "Maybe not. I am starting to see a bulge on those arms of yours." Hey. Cody blushes. "I guess Heather's coaching is starting to take effect." "Well, anyhow, let me give you one last word of advice about women," Trent said as he whispered in the geek's ear. "Think of her first." Trent is finally strapped onto the stretcher. "Good luck, killer captains, and keep on winning." Cody was confused by Trent's words of wisdom. "Think of her first." Who was he talking about? Gwen? Ciara? Who? Cody thought to himself. Chef finally wheels Trent away, leaving just 6 members left of their team. Cut to the rabid skippers. The skippers survey their map as they pace across the sandy beach of Tortuga. "Are we there yet?" Lindsay asked Tyler. "Not yet, Linz," the jock answers. "Looks like it's 300 paces that way." Tyler continues walking with the treasure map until he reached the end. He looks down and noticed a big X on the ground. "I found it." The athlete beckons his team as they all gather and dig. "Great job, team." Justin praises the skippers with Izzy glaring at him. The team eventually pulls out the treasure chest from the sandy dirt. "How do we know if it's Chris's treasure chest?" Lindsay asked the team. They then noticed that the contents of the chest were completely composed of gilded chrysis. "I'm fairly certain it is," Justin responded. The group immediately carries the treasure chest to their pirate ship. The other teams spot them and also hop aboard their ships as well. "Let's hurry and return to Port Royal." Justin rallies his team as they set sail. Cut to the screaming admirals. The admiral's pirate ship leaves the island as well in pursuit of the leading team. The skippers have the treasure. "Come on, let's hurry and take it from them." The pirate way, Duncan ordered his team. "Hey, I'm captain here, and I want to lower the numbers down on the captains," Jeff argued. "But the skippers have the treasure. We won't win if they return to Jamaica with it," Gwen disputed. Well, the skippers have the same numbers as we do, but the captains have 6 members. Now set aim after the captains. That's an order, Jeff barked. Cut to the killer captains. The captain ship also sets sail and pursues the skippers. Fire, Courtney ordered as their first cannonball is fired at the treasure holder's ship. The skipper's ship narrowly dodged the projectile. Seizing the opportunity of distraction, the captains managed to catch up to the skippers. Prepare to board, Cody commanded as captain. Sierra and Courtney swing from the sails ropes, and with it, they jump onto the skipper's pirate ship. Wielding their wooden swords, all right, landlubbers, fork over the gold, Courtney taunted. Attack, Justin ordered as Lindsay and Sadie resisted the invaders with their own lumber weaponry. Each pair of girls exchange swing against one another. Meanwhile, Tyler is instructed to man the skipper cannons at the captains. Back on the captain ship, Katie, Heather and Bridget man their team's cannons and continue to fire back at the skippers. Cody once again operates the tiller, trying to navigate for his team. He then loses balance from the shaking as the ship is rammed by the admirals. Let me see your boating license, Cody barked at the rear enders. The geek, now realizing that the captain ship was between the other two, had to try and maneuver it out of its predicament. Cut to the screaming admirals. Jeff only glared at the captain's pirate leader and then turns to his crew. Proceed to sink them. Duncan operates the cannons for his team and proceeds to fire the first cannonball into the captain's ship. Fortunately for the captains, it only made a large hole and did not sink it. Cut to the killer captains. After feeling the impact of the first cannonball, Bridget turns to see Jeff glaring at her new crush. Not this time, Jeff, the surfer girl says as she maneuvers a cannon to the opposite side and fires it at the admiral ship. Cut to the screaming admirals. What are you waiting for? Board their ship and take them out, the disgruntled party animal ordered. Yeah, something about fighting women doesn't sit well with me, Duncan informs, and Gwen isn't keen on letting me wail on the terp either. Leshona takes aim at the flag sail of the captain's ship and fires. The cannon blew a hole into the sail itself. Cut to the rabid skippers. The booty is ours, Kerry, Lindsay informs Courtney as they continue to match splintery blades. As Tyler lit his next cannon, he turns to help his girlfriend, but as he does, the CIT elbows him hard enough to send him flying back onto his cannon. This impact caused the cannon to point upwards and fire over the captain's ship and hits the admiral's mast. The busted mast then bends over the captain's ship, with the Admiral Crow's Nest hovering next to the captain's sail. Cut to the killer captains. Cody left the tiller and climbed up the captain's mast to fix the hole on their sail. Tying the loose flag fabric together while standing on his team's sail yard, he managed to provide a temporary solution for his team. That should do it, the geek proudly tells himself as he turns to climb back down. Not so fast, geek, Cody turns to see Jeff after the deranged lunatic climbed up his own fallen mast and hopped aboard the captain's sail yard. What is your problem with me, Jeff? Cody finally inquired. You know why. You know exactly why, Jeff hollered back. No, I don't know why. You took my Bridget away from me. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know exactly what I am talking about. Bridget and I are just friends. We are settling things here, and now you little Jeff angrily shouts as he pulls out his wooden sword. Cody, grateful that he remembered to, also brought out his wooden sword. Let's see what you've got. The party animal lunged at the geek and swung his lumber weapon at him. Cody jumped back and dodged it. You are totally insane, Cody informed him. Wasting no time, Jeff lunged at him again, and this time, the geek parried it with his sword. Cody then goes to the offense by slashing at the party animal. However, Jeff also jumped back to avoid it. The two take turns exchanging offensive and defensive tactics to try and outdo each other. Bridget and Heather watch in awe as the two boys fight each other atop the sail yard of the captain's pirate ship. Come on, Cody, show me my training hasn't been a waste of time. The queen bee cheers in her own way. Bridget, not sure if rooting for Cody out loud would be such a good idea, only crosses her fingers, hoping her geeky crush makes it out okay. Cut to the rabid skippers. While Sierra sword fights with Sadie, she turned to see Cody and Jeff dueling. My Codicans is in danger. As Sadie lunges her wooden sword, Sierra just catches it, and with her adrenaline she breaks the piece of lumber with one arm. The fangirl then climbs up the skipper mast and swings from the sail rope back to her own pirate ship. Sierra, we still need to get the treasure, Courtney reminded the stalker. I am getting my treasure, Sierra shot back, after bailing on the CIT. Courtney yelled out in anger before turning to Izzy, who had her blade held against the CIT's face. Cadet Izzy thinks you should evacuate her boat. Izzy threatened. Courtney, unhappy with her new position, complied and retreated to the captain's ship as well. Cut to the killer captains. Cody finds himself on his knees after getting into an overpowering deadlock with Jeff and his sword. Face it, Terp, you lost, as your kind was meant to, Jeff angrily taunted. Come on, Cody, Sierra hollered from the deck of the pirate ship. Cody manages to get the adrenaline working enough to regain some footing and jump back from the deadlock. Cliché it may be, I am not letting the jerk win. The geek shot back. This time I will take you out, like I intended to with that cannonball, Jeff cruelly stated. That was you. The geek angrily glares back at the perpetrator who is responsible for Trent's injury and elimination. Cody grabbed the sail ropes and swung back at the party animal, booting him in the face with his feet. As the swing recoiled, the geek jumped back onto the sail yard and ran at the stunned party animal. As Jeff recovered from the kick, he tried swinging his wooden sword at Cody once more, but the geek was too fast for him. Cody quickly lunges his own sword into Jeff, causing blunt but still aching pain into the party animal's gut. Wasting no time, the geek swung his blade once more upwards and decking Jeff's chin. After the party animal was successfully stunned, Cody decided to put down his weapon and instead rely on a different weapon. This is for Trent, Cody yells as he musters up the enraged force and lands his patented right hook fist into the party animal's face. The punch was more than strong enough to knock Jeff out and off the ship entirely. The psychotic party animal plummets into the Caribbean Sea with a massive splash. Way to go, Cody, Sierra cheers. Great work, Cody, Heather proudly praised as well. That's my Cody, Bridget happily added just before regretting using those words. What did you say? Sierra then turned to the surfer girl. That's our Cody. Bridget nervously corrects herself as Sierra glares suspiciously at her. Cody finally sighed after his victory, but then realized how exhausted he really was. Losing his balance, the geek tripped and fell off the sail yard. He starts plummeting down to the deck where the three girls were standing. Cody, the three shouted together concernedly as he fell in their direction. Sierra and Bridget knock into each other trying to catch him and fall to the ground themselves. Heather, however, succeeded in catching the falling Cody in the same position as she did back in the Louvre. Woo. Thanks, Heather. Cody exhaustedly thanked the Queen Bee. I owe you one. Heather embarrassingly blushed at the geek before snapping out of it and drops him on the ground. She then glares down at Cody. That's two you owe me, geek face. Cut to the screaming admirals. DJ threw a life preserver to the defeated party animal. Help him up so we can at least finish this stupid challenge, Duncan said angrily. Cut to the rabid skippers. Due to the chaotic events between the other teams, the skippers sailed away from the battle. The skipper ship finally made port back at Kingston, Jamaica. Chris was back there as well to greet them. Victory to the rabid skippers. Enjoy your beautiful bounty, Chris announced while gazing at the gold doppelgangers of himself inside the treasure chest that the skippers successfully brought back to Port Royal with. I told you I can lead this team well, Justin boasted, while Izzy once again glared back. While the admirals were distracted by helping out Jeff, the captains were the second to make it to port. Killer captains, since you made port before the other team that came here empty-handed, you will make it to not so victorious, not so loserish purgatory, Chris continued. Finally it was the screaming admirals who came in dead last. Screaming admirals, guess you're sending someone home today, Chris announced to the admirals' disdain. Leshawna gulped, knowing the grudge held for her by Duncan and Gwen. Chris continues again. As for the skippers, Chef, tell them what they won. Chef pulls out his cue card. They win a diesel engine for their team. Chris, I think the rest goes without saying. This is the third time we had this reward. Fine. Chris rolls his eyes. And admirals, I'll see all of you on your ship. Cut to the killer captains. The entire team enjoys the tiki bar that they won back in Tikal. These tropical drinks really distract me from coming up short this time, Cody happily says. Most definitely that. And also the fact that you decked Mr. Crazy, Sierra added. Gonna get some heat from the Jeff fanbase, but I'm still proud of you, Cody. The geek turned to Bridget. Sorry about that tussle with your ex, Bridget. I am sure there are still feelings you have for him. You don't have to apologize. What he did to Trent was horrible, the surfer girl assured. I'm just glad you made it out safely, Cody. Sierra was not fond of the way she said that. Gonna be a long season without Trent, Katie sadly stated. Bridget seems to be getting rather close to my Cody. If she has any dark intentions with my hubby, then she will know the true wrath of Sierra. The fangirl punches out the confessional camera. Cut to the screaming admirals. I hope DJ remembered our talk back in Guatemala. If we both vote for Gwen, I can take her out in the tiebreaker. Sorry, Lashana, I just don't want to betray anyone, DJ pathetically whimpered. Chris meets the admirals atop their ship. Admirals, some strange business going on during this challenge. But in the end, you came in last this time around, and now find yourselves in the sardine ceremony once more. Let's see who's walking the plank of shame this time. The people who are safe are Duncan, Gwen, DJ. One more can of decade-old sardines left. One of you two is getting it, one of you is not. Jeff, a black-eyed party animal, grins happily. You are the one not receiving the final sardine can, because it is Lashana who is getting it. What? The disgruntled party animal angrily shouts. I haven't gotten Bridget back. You can't do this to me. Sorry, buddy, but you are totally insane. Duncan justifies his decision. Chris throws Jeff his life jacket and pushes the party animal into and off of the plank of shame. Gwen looked at the camera. As much as I wanted Lashana gone, I just think that Jeff needed to go more. Lashana wiped some sweat off her head. That was a close call, but I may not be so lucky next time. Jeff, get help, for your own good. Please get help, Bridget pleaded to her ex. And then there were 4 admirals. Looks like today gave us our first double elimination this season. Who will go next at our newest destination yet? Find out here on Total Drama Luxury Tour.
Sanity.